Ooh, look at you with the haircut. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, right. I always seem really anxious and stressed out as soon as I start a stream, don't I? I'm not. I'm just still not used to it. I'm still not used to it. I'm still not used to it. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. So this is something different. Why am I all red again? Oh my god. Maybe I am stressed out. I don't know. I don't know. Right. Starting a little bit early, only a couple of minutes, just to try and get the talking out of the way with trying to get the whole spiel and the whole intro and stuff out the way. My desk needs to be pushed back a bit. What the hell? That's because I was behind it before. I'll tell you why in a minute. I was underneath and around the back and all the business. Anyway, yeah, so as the title suggests, we are looking at the PlayStation 5, which is currently over there on a bookcase, because I don't have any plugs next to the computer left. The nearest plug is over there. The HDMI wire could reach probably the height of the Eiffel Tower. It is a bloody huge HDMI lead for some reason, but it's worked out in my favor. I hopped on Amazon last night, used the last of our savings. Honestly, I swear down. Raided the piggy bank, and I got this cheap, but seems to be okay. Fingers crossed. Little capture card, which seems to work. So it is what it is, guys. The resolution of the PlayStation 5 is probably not going to look amazing. I did think about obviously live streaming from the PlayStation 5. That would mean sort of no overlays, no webcam. I think I can use this headset on the PS5. So honestly, I don't know. I took a chance. I'm using the capture card. It is what it is. We'll see how that works out, because I've had a little test. I did about 3 or 4 different tests in the last 2 hours to see how it all looked and whether it works, and it seems to work. I just don't know about the resolution. So listen, little disclaimer before we start, guys. It's not going to be, maxing out at 2K. I think it's probably 1080p at the best. But again, if you can, I would probably watch this live stream on maybe a tablet or a phone, just so it looks good. But yeah, going to be taking a look at the PlayStation 5 beta for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 beta on PlayStation 5. Any questions, anything you would like me to try and do, look at live on air, let me know. I'll do my best to show you. If you are rewatching the stream, then obviously in the comments, if you've got any questions, let me know. The plan is to potentially have some kind of PS5 content on the channel when it fully releases in December, but I'm not 100% on that. I might have, I might not. My main platform is PC for the flight simulation content. But yeah, what I have done today, just so you guys can see it, is I've actually started it on the PlayStation 5 menu, which hopefully is coming across. First time I've used the capture card. So I'm going to start it because I want to show you how it loads, how long it loads. Basically from the dashboard up until it loads in. I'm loaded into a flight, so I can show you the load times and you can see that happening in real time. So without further ado, here we go, the DualSense, which by the way I haven't tested and I don't know whether the gyro works. We'll have a little look in the settings, because I know the touchpad does actually act as a throttle. In some planes, I think you can swipe the throttle up and the touchpad up and down, and it works as a slider for the throttle, and I think that's quite cool. and the haptic triggers as well. They seem quite cool when using the rudder, and you know, if you've used a PS5, you'll know what I mean. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Let's get it loaded up. There's Cyberpunk, which I'm neglecting, but anyway. And it's loading up, guys, and you'll see that this has actually got a completely different splash screen, a load video. It's the same as I think it's the trailer. I think it's basically the trailer they showed on release. But again, guys, please bear with me with the resolution. I hope it's okay. You'll notice that obviously my webcam sort of overlay is probably a lot nicer in terms of resolution, but yeah. The same familiar music sounds, but you'll notice it's actually the trailer that they shown about, what was it, a couple of weeks ago now. I hope everything's coming through, guys. If there's anything in particular that isn't coming through, let me know. I might do another live stream for this, possibly in the future before it releases, and see how live streaming from the actual PS5 works out. Obviously, I won't get any kind of, it'll be faceless. Obviously, I'll have a microphone at least, but no fancy overlays or intros or anything. It'll just be, you know, start stream and go. And what I would say is, straight off the bat, is the trailer. Obviously, I've seen a lot of people comment to me, and obviously comment elsewhere that, see, the trailer won't look as good. The actual gameplay, if you like to call it gameplay, the sim won't look as good as the trailer. And listen, I've had a few goes of it already. I've been in the sim down on my actual 4K television, which the PS5 is no longer down on that telly anymore, which I'm a bit gutted about. But there's the load, guys. That's how long it takes to load. So for me, faster than PC, but I have got a ton of stuff in the community folder, which technically is being streamed, so it's not as long of a load as something like, say, 2020, where it was reading everything from the community folder and loading it in and stuff like that. So I've got to watch out, because I keep on going to try and control everything on the screen with my mouse, which doesn't work because we're not on PC, but my brain keeps on going that way. Dave, good to see you, mate. How am I doing? Well, I'm doing okay, mate. How are you doing? I hope you're all okay. So basically, you can control the menus. I don't know if you can use the cursor within the menu, but I know you just use the D-pad and choose what you want. To slide over to the top menu, R3, it says it up there. I have noticed that my avatar is the same. It's matched up to the one on PC, which is pretty cool. I would like to look at the controls. Now, you'll notice straight off the bat the graphic settings. We've got something called seatbelt visibility. I don't know if that is actually on PC. Quite interesting. I usually have mine down to about, I think on PC it's 0.5. But you'll notice absolutely no graphic settings in terms of the graphics. You've got all the variety things, which, by the way, if anyone was wondering, on a standard PS5, which is the one I've got now, just another sort of disclaimer and notice to anyone watching or re-watching, my PlayStation 5 is a release day launch model. It's one from release day, as far as I am aware. It's not a slim. It's not a sort of version 2 with the new motherboard in it. Not a slim, and it's not a Pro. It's not a PS5 Pro, which obviously makes sense. But for these settings that we've got here, all we have is medium and low, or off. In some cases, I think off is on the... So low and medium now, Again, it's a beta. I don't know what is going to be available at launch, but this is what we've got right now, just so you guys can see that. Really, it's going to be quite similar in here. It doesn't look like anything's changed. What I do want to check is the control setup for this. Because what I want to do is I want to check the search input for the touchpad. So you can see when I touch the touchpad, you'll see it comes up with an actual little touchpad, and you can set the throttle axis onto there, which I'm assuming you can probably set up anything if you want to mess about with that. Gyro, I don't know how we would look at that. Gyro toggle, so you have got a gyroscope, no, glide scope, gyroscope. Interesting. We'll try that because I'm not too sure what that is. It possibly enables gyroscope controls, so we'll have a look. L1, L3, perfect. Okay. But let's have a look at where it matters now. Goes without saying, the marketplace isn't there. As far as I can see, I have all of the world updates set up in the library. So, by the way, guys, I'm going to be looking this way. Usually I'm looking that way. So the webcam's over my main monitor, and this is where PC Flight Sim would usually be. As you can imagine, I am capturing this on a capture card, and it's through OBS. Technically, I could move OBS over here, which would probably be a bit more of a better idea, wouldn't it? So that might be a bit better, which is never, it's a bit weird seeing it like this. But anyway, I am looking at the PS5 through, yeah. Or maybe, do you know what? I'm looking at this now thinking maybe I should have, because you can, I have got it on this capture card, I have got a HDMI out. I could HDMI out that to another monitor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just get on with it. So as you can imagine, the live traffic is on. I am gonna keep it on because that's I don't usually do that on PC. I would use something else for my live traffic, but because I obviously want to show you guys what it's like, I'll keep it on. Now a guy on the forum, I think it was it Coral Yard, he wanted me to check the A400. Now the C17 is not on here. He did notice that, as something I didn't notice when I was looking at everything, but I don't think the C17 is actually on here. I don't think it is, because I think it's in order. Where's my space on this thing? God, I am not used to the the PS5 anymore. I don't think it is on here, but he did want me to check the A400, which is what we can do. I'll take it for a little low-level flight somewhere, probably around Wales maybe, but for now we will jump into one of my favorites, that was added, the Dakota, not the actual Dakota, but the Piper, because it's a GA plane. I love to see it. And when you're in this menu, obviously you have control over the map cursor, and then when you want to go up to the top, you press triangle, which it actually says at the bottom of the screen there, switch panels, and you can go and check your aircraft, do all your flight planning, change the weather. So if you are coming from a PC, which I'll be honest, and I am presuming things here, I don't think many simmers will be doing. I think that will come next year with the PSVR 2 update. So if you are a PC simmer and you want to experience VR on the flight sim, but you haven't got a dedicated headset for the PC or a Quest 3 or Quest 2, you can virtual desktop up to the PC, but you have got a PS5 with a PSVR 2, which I think is going to be a case for quite a lot of people. You're going to be able to experience this in VR with the PSVR 2, and I still haven't used that particular headset. I've used a lot of headsets over the last however many years, nearly 9 years or so, and that was one I haven't checked, and I believe it's I haven't tried it, and I believe it's very, very good. But yeah, I think the use case there will be, and again, this is a guess from me, but I think that's where we're going to get the majority of PC simmers coming over to the PS5. Not, you know, completely coming over to the PS5, you know, I think just for the VR. And then obviously the biggest selection of players are going to be the ones who own a PS5, don't own a PC, and have never been able to do any kind of flight simming because they haven't had a PC, which is a big thing. I think people forget that this is the first time it's on PlayStation. Everyone who hasn't been able to get a PC, who haven't got the funds to do it, are going to be able to now do flight simulation on a PlayStation console, even on a standard PS5. So that's a thing to look at. And again, keep in mind that this is a you know, the beta. It's the beta, whatever you want to call it. So things you see on this, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to say that there is some things that still need a tiny bit of work, but from what I've seen so far, it bodes well for the launch, and it is something I've said a few times. They need to make sure this is a really, really good launch with no to minimal issues, because it's the first time Flight Simulator is going to be on a PlayStation console. So you know, they'll want to get this out in a good standard. Anyway, let's show you. So I've noticed this particular bit, start flight, very, very nippy. Sometimes if you're in a GA aircraft, it's almost instant. It's pretty cool. If you're in a bigger aircraft, it does take a tiny bit longer, but again, faster than PC. But these things that I'm saying are pretty obvious, especially because we have got just a standard graphics setting. There's nothing we can change apart from density of ground aircraft and such. So yeah, if you are joining me this evening, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. If you are rewatching the stream, any questions that I can answer if I didn't answer them in the live stream, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to if I can answer them. But yeah, we're checking out flight simulation on PlayStation, which is a weird thing to say. So we're outside on the General Aviation apron, which I was here in real life on Saturday. I am releasing a little YouTube short as well as the video on social media as well of my time in it was actually a PA-28. It was actually the Warrior 2, the Cherokee Warrior 2. And I will try and get another video out of that, doing like a, you know, real versus simulator video, because I'd really like to do that. But yeah, listen guys, this is just the standard one. This is a Digital Designs version. Digital Designs version is a bit more complete. I'd say it was still outdated in terms of visual quality and you know, what we're seeing now from developers of airports. But all the little sort of huts are here, and the, you know, the Raven Air hangar, as well as the newer sort of a business hangar, which again is there, but on the Digital Designs when it is more logoed up and looks a bit more authentic. But yeah, this is again, if there's anything you guys want to see, I will try and do my best to kind of look at night lighting and do flying and yeah, do as much as I can. I want to try the gyroscope controls. That's quite interesting that is on there. Also as well, what I do want to try and look at, again, this is going to be very dependent on the cursor mode. What I mean by that is if you do R1 and L3, you get the cursor, which then helps us point at things. It stops us being able to do other things at the same time, but I mean, you can interact things without the cursor mode. It's very, you've got to have, do you know what I mean? You've got to line it up, and it's pretty annoying to do that. But yeah, that for me, that is being the kind of the biggest thing to get used to is flicking it to cursor mode when we can obviously just use a mouse on PC. But what really sort of, not shocked, but well, yeah, I have tried Flight Sim on Xbox when did I have an Xbox? A while ago, so it might have even been 2020 maybe, I don't know. But I was impressed with the sort of the visual quality on console, especially coming from a PC. And obviously as a PC user, if you go to PS5, you will see the difference. And again, it's a silly sentiment, but you can, but it's not far off. It's pretty good, pretty impressive actually, what they've been able to achieve with the console versions. So let's try and see. So what was it? L1 and L3 was it? Oh yeah. Hey. Okay, we'll have to try and use that in the air. But yeah, as you can see, hang on. Oh, tilt. Yeah. So tilt to whatever that'll translate into in the simulator. I'll find out. Well, sorry, when we're flying, of course. But yeah, that's a pretty cool thing, and I will try and so the Warrior 2 actually only has the mixture and the throttle. Obviously the Dakota here has the RPM, the prop RPM, but for the most part it looks quite similar. I'm using my mouse again. Oh my god, I can't. I'm using my mouse. I'm gonna have to rein that in. There we go. Right, let's get a this again isn't standard procedure by any means. I was taking note of what Jason, the chap that I met on Saturday, was doing in his Piper. Again, absolutely amazing experience. Really was. Let's have a little look and see if we can get this started up. I've just finally got my hands on the Comash. Is it the Comash or the Comac? Something that I've been wanting to do to fly for a while, and it just, you know, the whole thing is just so realistic. Bad, not bad. Again, to translate the camera, it's what I'd usually do on the PC version. But obviously I can't use my mouse to kind of give me that right hand sort of use of panning the camera around and also zooming with the mouse wheel, so it's a lot of muscle memory being completely overwritten at this point. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? So we haven't got anything set up, guys. I just want to get into the air, show you what obviously the scenery looks like, and I'll try my best to show as much of this off as I can. Luckily, most of the key bindings I already have on PC are making this a bit more easier. What do we do? Is it menu? It's I tell you what, it's blooming difficult to get everything sort of started, and as you can probably imagine, it's very fiddly, apart from those key bindings that as I mentioned, that I've got already memorized. So but let's get it up into the air. And just so you guys know, obviously it's something I can't really show, but what I'm now getting is the haptic feedback for the adaptive triggers on the DualSense. They've started to tighten up now, and I'm getting like a really springy type resistance to the triggers which are being used right now to turn. I can also use the left and right. But yeah, the adaptive triggers feel really cool. The touchpad, again, I can use to actually make the throttle go up and down, which, I'll be honest with you, I would be mapping something else to it, because it's not the most intuitive. It's quite interesting that they've used them. I guess with it being a touchpad and the action of scrolling, it makes sense that they've done that as the default method or the default keybind, but I don't think it's the most intuitive. Now there's going to be air traffic here, guys. If there's a plane coming in and out from runway 09, it is what it is, but yeah, I don't think the throttle being binded to the touchpad is amazing. Now it's already binded to X and O, X being give it some beans and O being decrease, which is fine. But again, you can also do it with the touchpad, which again is fine. But I honestly think just the default key bindings are fine. There's some of that air traffic. You can actually see some Sun Express aircraft, but we can also see some, I think that was a 777 or a 767. Some of that wouldn't really be on the ramp here at Liverpool, or maybe from a charter, I don't know. But again, guys, I do apologise for maybe the less than polished resolution of the stream in terms of the actual gameplay itself. I am using cheap and cheerful capture card that I was able to get next day delivery on, because I still wanted the overlays and the webcam, and being able to do it from the PC and OBS is just a bit easier. I've got used to doing that. But yeah, as we fly over from Liverpool John Lennon over there, obviously we've got the Wirral Ellesmere Port. One big thing that you will see happening on the stream today is that the photogrammetry, or at least the photogrammetry areas, from what I've been able to tell so far, do have a bit of a lag while loading in. Now if I just continue to look out of the window, photogrammetry looks pretty good. Has this thing got a landing gear? No, I don't think it has it? No. but you'll now see that the photogrammetry is loading up. Now, that could be a multitude of things. Well, it's either that is an issue already anyway, which I think it is, or it's just the fact that my PS5 is not getting the fastest speed to it. It's not something I see happening on the PC version, even though I am seeing textures on the ground and on buildings take forever to load nowadays. That's only after Sim Update 3 for me personally. But yeah, there is you can see it happening, the scenery in the background there sort of loading in, and it's not very persistent. And what I mean by that is you only have to be looking away for a second. Do you know what I mean? So if I look away, come back up, it'll start loading everything back in again. So don't know what this is, couldn't tell you whether it's a thing that they're just turning down for a bit in terms of the servers, like, you know, having everything load at once and, you know, just walking before you can run type situation. Visually very impressive, really impressed with the visuals. Cockpit detailing and aircraft detailing is very nice indeed. And I got to do this for real life on Saturday, which was amazing. I got to circle around Liverpool city centre once and got to see Everton's new ground from above. As I say, I've got a little YouTube short coming out because I filmed everything vertically, and I was yeah, still very sort of overjoyed and hyped by the situation. Even now, it's not really something I'll be forgetting in a long time. Dave, it is smooth, mate. I mean, there's instances where there will be a bit of a, you know, a little bit of a stutter, I guess, but the only thing really right now I can see that's even a bother is the fact that if you look away, things do load in on the ground, the photogrammetry. I don't think that is going to happen on the likes of auto-generated stuff, but I will look at that. I will go into an auto-generated city and see what the deal is. But I tell you what, actually, I say it's going to take me a while because most of them are photogrammetry now. Manchester isn't, so we can certainly fly towards Manchester on this live stream and see what the auto-gen is like, because I don't think it's going to be like this. And as you can see, it is very noticeable. Things do start to sort of render and load in once you start looking away. But if honestly that's the only thing that's that they're going to have to try and fix, then fair play to them. I obviously will go and fly low as I can in New York on the stream. I will look at the night lighting on the stream. I will take a look at that A400 for obviously the chat over on the forums. Anything else that you guys want to see, let me know. And like I said, if you are rewatching, please do let me know. If there's anything I can answer, I will try and do another live stream again in a month or so. Obviously we're not far from release as it is anyway. Clouds, well, obviously is going to be a thing that we are going to notice with a graphical change, but they don't look too bad. I'll get up high and do some airline flying for a bit. No full routes. I want to try and get to as many aircraft and as many locations as possible, as you can imagine. Dave, if you are watching, mate, I think you are, but if you are watching, mate, how is the actual picture of the flight sim? Obviously I am getting it at a bit of a better resolution on my screen here, which makes sense, but I believe I'm only getting a input of 1080p But honestly, the capture card was 27 quid, so you know. But I'm personally impressed. Yet there's some little things that they do need to fix and improve upon, but very minimal at this point. Very minimal. Nothing too broken. Yeah, looks fine to me. That's good. That's good. So the gyro. Let's have a little look. Let's turn it on. L1, L3. Now that feels cool. Whether it'll be something everyone uses, I don't know. But it's a thing, and it works. And it's not too bad as well. Don't know if you can go in and calibrate this, but it's not too bad. I will say that. And then you can just turn it off. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm not, yeah. Might get interested during landing. In more ways than one, mate. As I say, I've not done a full sort of flight on the PS5 yet. I've been doing bits and bobs. I've left most of the sort of the flying and the first impressions almost to this live stream, like I always try and do. Again, I've just reached for the mouse. Just very, very easy to do that. Sim Skies Aviation, yo, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Let's see if we can change things up a bit. Let's go for something really, really boring and not too demanding. We are heading down towards the ground, so I'm going to have to be very, very quick here. But again, getting low and getting loads of scenery is definitely something you guys will probably want to see. Let's take it back a bit. PS5 don't look too bad. It don't. I'm quite impressed now. Obviously, right now I am watching this and controlling it through OBS. If I wanted to, I could grab another HDMI and do a pass-through out to another monitor and have it on two separate screens. I didn't really think about that originally, but I could if I really wanted to do that, but I won't. I did try it on my OLED 4K LG downstairs. Ooh, fancy. and it looked lovely. It looked lovely. But it don't look too bad. So here is a auto-generated area, and what I will say is that it doesn't seem to be doing the sort of the popping and rendering that we're seeing with any of the auto-gen areas. So that is something that I think maybe, I don't want to say they've turned down, but I want to say that they've maybe, I don't know. Let's have a little look and see if I've got any kind of, maybe I've got maybe my bandwidth or something is, photogrammetry's turned on. I know you can obviously turn, if I got it's unlimited, so yeah, I mean, it's nothing to do with that. I think it's just a maybe, no, I don't even think it's an issue. I think it might just be that they've limited the, I don't know, the save. This is just a guess. The savers, I don't know. So people aren't, you know, it's, you know, people are able to see the photogrammetry, but not. I don't know. I kind of know. Put max settings on. So at the start of the stream, Sim Skies, I'll show you again, and I'll show for obviously anyone who didn't catch the start. There isn't any graphic settings. This is what we get from the graphic settings. We can turn HDR10 on if we've got a monitor that can do that. Seatbelt visibility, which I don't know if that's on PC or whether that's a new thing that they've added, but this is all we get from the graphic settings. This is basically the bottom of the PC section. Avatar, the characters, quality and variety, quality, and then the airport, ground vehicles, airport. We haven't even got, we've got parked aircraft, and then obviously aircraft graphic quantity as well, traffic quantity and variety. We don't actually get anything. Now, again, for people that didn't see the start of the stream, that might not be the case for PS5 Pro. I can't give you that thing, and this is I guess this is probably a caveat of streaming on a normal PS5. The PS5 that I'm using right now is a bog standard. In fact, the PS5 that I'm using is I think, from what I remember, is a launch day one. It's the one that has got the original motherboard in, because the PS5 had a little internal upgrade. Then they went to the Slim, and obviously then they went to the PS5 Pro. And obviously in between, then they had all different revisions of the motherboard size, the cooling size. So this is what we get on a bog standard PS5. I'm also, in a way, not a caveat, because I'm glad to be able to show the beta running on a bog standard PS5. You know, in my opinion, the lowest of the low PS5 that you can get. Do you know? So it's this, what you're seeing today on the stream and rewatching the stream is the graphic fidelity, the performance of a standard PS5 and not a PS5 Pro. So if you have a PS5 Pro, guys, you know, don't know about the graphic settings, but I know obviously you're going to be getting better, or at least it's not bad anyway, but you're going to be getting fantastic performance on a PS5 Pro. You might even get a few toggles to play with, but I think at the PS5 Pro version, you're probably going to get some other toggles, but you're also obviously going to get a higher preset graphic setting. So whatever this beta is running on a normal PS5 in terms of its standard preset graphics, then you're going to get higher on a Pro, which again bodes well, because this looks fantastic. Kevin Waters looking good in GA, but nice to see stock line on. Yeah, I'm going to try, Kevin. So listen, guys, I'm going to try and get through as much as possible within the time I've got to show you. Obviously, I'm not going to fly any full routes. I don't see the purpose in that. But I'll try and show you helicopters as well. I don't fly helicopters, but I'll try and show you them. I'll show you some airliners. I'll show you them on the ground taking off. I'll show you them up in the air. Timing stuff, do a barrel roll, please. Why? I mean, I'll jump in one of the fighter jets. I think there's an F-18 available in this, so there'll be time for barrel rolls, don't worry. But you PS5 users who have wanted to do some flight simming, you are in for a treat. I think it looks fantastic. I think they've done really, really well. Now I know all aircrafts like PMG, Ineos, etc. with PS5, so everything that's available on the marketplace will be available. I don't think PMDG, or actually no, PMDG are available on the marketplace, aren't they? I don't personally use the marketplace a lot, but you will have access to the marketplace to then buy third-party aircraft and sceneries. Yes, absolutely. you just won't be able to add any freeware in. That is the same with Xbox. There's just no way of adding freeware sceneries into the console versions. And obviously any developers who choose not to have their aircraft and sceneries available on the marketplace, then there's no way to install them, unfortunately. Do all aircraft cost the same price as they would cost? I believe they will be exactly the same. I can't see there being a price difference for Xbox console or PS5 console, so I don't think the A350 by Any Builds is going to cost any less on PS5 than it does on PC. But again, I was saying this before, I can see a lot of PC users coming over for the VR side. They might come over to do some online flying with, you know, their mates who have got a PS5 and now are very interested in doing some flight simming on PS5. Don't forget, we have learned recently that it's not going to be cross-play. It's not going to allow you to start flying with anyone on PC or Xbox online, which I hope they revise, because I think that's a bit of an oversight. But I can see a lot of people with PCs who have got PS5. As I say, I've got a PS5 there, I've got a PC, but my main platform for doing any flight simming is PC for obvious reasons. If I had a PSVR 2 sitting off there, which I think now, I think a lot of people, PS5 users, will have one, or at least be able to buy one. And sometimes you can catch the PSVR 2 at really discounted prices, especially if you're willing to go second hand. You're then going to be able to, and hopefully not too far into 2026, but with a free update, you'll then be able to take advantage of PSVR 2 in the flight sim, which, by the way, is a massive deal, because the PSVR 2 is a lot more obtainable than, say, something like I don't know, a Valve Index. Some of the, you know, the HP Reverb G2, which is dedicated PC VR headsets. Obviously, the Quest 3, it's still around 500 quid now. And that's how most people do flight simming on PC, is with a Quest 3 or a Quest 2 through something like Virtual Desktop. Any PlayStation compatible joysticks? I believe there is. I think some of them work on Xbox. I'm pretty sure the HOTAS works on Xbox, so I wouldn't be surprised if Thrustmaster probably being the main one, will have their joysticks and possibly yokes. I don't know about yokes, but I think Thrustmaster are going to be the ones you are going to be looking at for any peripherals going into the PlayStation 5. But as I was shown before, the gyroscope works pretty well on the PS5. So you can actually use the tilt back and forth, and it's nice. I think it's a bit off. I think what you've got to do is, I think you've got to turn it off and then get it level, activate it, and then you can I'm not the best person to show you this, but yeah, absolute props to anyone who is able to land with the gyroscope controls on the PS5 when it comes out, or in beta for that matter. But yeah, I think Thrustmaster are the ones who are going to probably enter the market first. That is just a pure speculation. Mobile flight sim vibes, I know, yeah. It works quite well. I don't think I'd ever use it. Now, just below us is Manchester City, or Manchester Barn Aerodrome, with its multiple grass strips. I've been here in real life a few times. Lovely little airfield just outside of Manchester, which you can see off to the background there. We will try and attempt the landing. and we will then go and grab ourselves an airliner. What we'll do is, with the airliners, just for the sake of the live stream and for the sake of my sanity, we will start off at altitude above the clouds, take a look at the visuals, take a look at the performance of an airliner, and then we will do some takeoff. Well, we'll do a takeoff. The haptics, the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers are fantastic, by the way, just to let you guys know. Really, really nice. Makes using the rudder feel, I wouldn't say exactly immersive, because you don't use your fingers on rudder pedals, but it's cool. It's cool nonetheless. No, I am not using gyro, Dave. And that wasn't the best approach either. I'm also gonna probably... No, I'm not gonna... And that's very, very short. It was very smooth, though. Very smooth. First person, hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Giving it absolute breaks down the end here. But yeah, here is Manchester Barton. But it wasn't bad, was it? I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was very, very long. It wasn't in the touchdown zone. But yeah, guys, just so obviously you can see, I want to obviously give you a look at the scenery as well, and how it looks, because obviously there's so many different things that are gonna be visually different. Performance, from what I can tell, is very, very good. Can you get the same effects on the grass? Good question, Dave. It looks like we're getting a tiny, tiny bit, probably not as persistent, but we do seem to get the marks on the grass. Not as visually sort of, you know, not as visual as something like the PC, but it's there. It is there. And as I always say while we're at Manchester Barton in the simulator, we definitely need another one. I think we are also getting some... Are we getting some ground traffic here? I don't know. But if you're interested in the walking mode, obviously I haven't turned my engine off. Let's turn the engine off. I've just used my mouse again. I really am terrible, man. Oh, don't turn the thing. So this is another thing. You can obviously aim the camera at your instruments and interact with them that way, but it's quite a lot of guessing. And also as well, you then need to make sure that your cursor turns off, and then you can control. I've left the lights on. I mean, visually, let's see if the avatar is leaving marks on the ground. I mean, he still kind of does. Pretty cool. Oh, who's off? That sounded like an aircraft. Oh, it's him. It's the guy with the truck that shouldn't be on the grass. Let's have a little look, see if we can get back and show you some stuff in an Airliner. So what we will do is, just over Wales, we'll set our departure. We'll go into our aircraft selection. Evening, Carl. Nice to see you, bud. What shall we look at? We'll have a little look at... We'll jump in the Jet 2 A321. Eh? Let's do that. Let's have a little look at this then, guys. So let's get the... Obviously, usually I've got a ton of presets, but we've just got the basics for now. Maybe some broken clouds. And we will set the time to a bit earlier on. Again, I will do some night flying, but we'll do that in a different aircraft a bit lower, just so we can see, obviously, the lights of the scenery and things like that. So 36,000 feet in a Jet 2 A321. I think this is the Indie Builds version. Right now, we will do a we'll do some flying at altitude, so you guys can see what the airliners look like at altitude. I'll do a takeoff from somewhere, potentially try a landing from somewhere as well. There would be no reason not to. But again, now you can see it's very loud for one. Let me just turn that down a tiny bit. Let's see if we can get ourselves... We definitely don't want to be at 46,000 feet. Land at Gibraltar. Okay, guys, you've made my decision for me. But this is what it looks like in an airliner. Oh no. I apologize. Why aren't you... It don't matter. It don't matter. it don't matter too much. It looks nice. It looks nice. I must admit, I am impressed. How do I get it? You can sign up for the beta inside the program. It's still active. One of my good friends, James Hudson, who's got a channel, he has got a great video on how to sign up for it. But this is a preview, this is the beta. You can sign up for it. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll be accepted into it. But yeah, this is the beta. It's a preview. It's obviously not the final product. So, but admittedly, I tell you, they're doing whatever they've done. It's fantastic, and I think there's only going to be a couple of things they really need to sort of look at to kind of to get it there ready for release. To sign up for the beta is free. If you're accepted on it, you'll be asked to generate a key. Haven't got a clue why my flaps are down. That's probably why we were getting that warning before. Interesting. Oh, why are you going down? I'll be honest with you, I don't think the I can't exit me aircraft now, definitely not. First, have you buy the game? No, you don't have to buy the game. If you go onto the official Microsoft Flight Simulator website, there will be a link to sign up to it. You can sign up for absolutely free, but you do need to obviously be accepted into it, and then when you get an email saying if you've been accepted into it, you can then request a key. But it's generally it's whether you're accepted or not. That's all it is, really. But yeah, I am impressed with what they've been doing so far. Now, the air traffic control communications do actually come out of the speaker here, which is pretty cool. Don't know if I'm able to show you that at this minute in time, but we can definitely have a little look. It is actually working. Hopefully you can hear that. It was quite low. Okay, good to see you, mate. Thank you. There's more to come, of course, but for now, we'll have a little look and see what the lighting is like from above. Oh, that looks nice. Yes, look at that. Yeah, I will go to Gibraltar and have a little look and see if we can Although right now I can't get... Now it's flicking in between. There we go. Let's see if we can actually get the... There we go. Yeah, I will try. Ivan, how are you doing? Get my teeth in, mate. I am good, mate. Thank you for asking. How are you? I hope you're alright, mate. Oh, that's photo mode. Let's not do that. But I mean, we're not strictly at night, but we are seeing some of the night lighting, which, by the way, it does look really, really nice. Yeah, that looks cool. Lovely reflections in the window still. We're getting them reflections off the flight displays and the tablet, I've noticed. There we go. Lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely stuff. Not bad. Okay, well, a couple of you wanted me to try and land at Gibraltar. So I think we do have an EasyJet livery. Or at least we will jump into the A320 and have a little look and see. Right, yes. So livery. Oh, we've got an EasyJet one. So perfect. Okay, we'll do that. And you guys want me to land at the old Gibraltar, don't you? It's got a custom scenery as well. It's got a handcrafted scenery. So we'll have a little look, and Gibraltar has got exactly the same runway designation as my local at Liverpool, 09 and 27, which is pretty cool. What one should we actually land at? The thing is, do they actually land on 09? Because that would seem like a really, really... not difficult, but I don't think it's the easiest airport to land at. Let's have a little look and see. No, I want to skip that. Let's come out of it for a second. And then go back into our EFB. So I don't think it's got ILS, has it? Or has it got ILS on 27 maybe? It don't matter anyway, I was probably going to just hand fly it down, but... let's have a little look. Sunset with light fog. I mean, you're testing me skills, mate, but there you go. Wouldn't be a live stream then, would it? Let's have a little look. No, I didn't think it did. I can only imagine it's because of the big feckin' rock that's at the end of the, that's in between the runway. Oh, wrong. I also don't know why it decides you to put you at 37,000 feet on some of these approaches. It's a bit annoying. Why is it doing that, man? It's because that departure's set over there and I don't want it to do that. Right, okay. Let's see if that works. Still showing custom departure, why? There we go, let's see if that works. I just want a straight in departure. I can't even promise it's going to be a good landing. You guys want me to do a lovely sunset with fog? I don't know if we've even got fog as a preset, that's the problem. Let's have a little look. You know, not too demanding, but I'd like to try it because obviously we're going to be testing out the simulator and seeing how it runs, and that's the idea, isn't it? This is why essentially I'm doing the live stream, to show you guys how it's running on a, well, as I say, a really old PS5. We can adjust the weather when we go, but I don't think we have any fog. I mean, we could mess with the clouds and adjust them when we get out there. We probably have to anyway, because I want to make sure that it looks, the time is set and everything, but yeah, it's not too bad. As I say, initially when it was rumored for a long time that it was coming for PS5, and obviously I've got one here. I don't know whether I'll be bringing a lot of content to it. Look, there's some low fog down over there. There we go. I don't know whether I will bring... Why have I not got control? There we go. As I say, I don't know whether I will be bringing a lot of content to the channel from the PS5. I'm still undecided yet. Yeah, it's for me, I just don't know. It really honestly depends on whether I can capture the footage correctly, make it work out for the quality that I need it to be, because I don't want to just have content on the channel from the PS5 but the resolution and obviously the upload quality, the bit rate not be great. I want it to look good. I also don't know how you there we go. I mean, we could get it a bit nicer, but we just won't have any fog, that's the thing. I mean, that is pretty... Is that the runway over there? That's the actual approach that they take, isn't it? Hang on, where is the runway? There we go, there's a bit of orange for you. I guess that's the best we can do. Where is the runway? Okay, I can see it now. where the two red lights are, I think. So yeah, I can see it now. Just obviously, I guess also the render distance isn't going to be as good as the PC, but again, that is a very obvious thing to say. I don't know if those are landing lights, but there's a lot of twinkling. I don't know if you guys can see that. Not too sure what that is. Also, I think I'm still pretty high as well, or too low. I'm too low, that's what it is. Bit too high now. And a bit too fast as well. Oh. No, I was perfect height before. I'm now far too fast. You can see the rain coming in. There's the oh, everything's gone off. That's a missed approach. Don't know why everything's gone off. Also, my flaps are back up again when I put them down. Interesting. Also, a lot of stutters, guys, as well, just so you guys know. That's the first time I've actually seen any stutters to the point of where it's almost like it's not even moving. Which it isn't. It looks like active pause is on. But it's not.
2,500. 400.
There you go, guys.
300. 200. 100.
So the whole plane shut down completely. And then it was like the sim was on active pause when it was just not. It was just a massive stutter, the plane come back to life, and then, well, yeah, you saw it. It was butter. It was butter. Definitely was. But yeah, guys, so what I would say is that is the first time I've actually seen it stutter. Like that. I have not seen it actually do that. I've never actually seen it do that on PC before. And that is 100% truth. I've never seen the sim do that. I've never seen an aircraft, even this bog standard aircraft, completely turn off on approach and then do that. Not even on PC. Never seen it on the 5 years of 2020 and then any of 2024. And that is the utter truth. Never seen it do that. Very, very interesting. But again, I would like to point out this is a preview. It's a beta. Hopefully the guys at Microsoft see that and they already know about it, at least are onto that, but never seen that happen. Davey, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. So I would like to try that again. See what happens at another airport. What I do want to check is Manchester, because I know there's going to be some traffic at Manchester. There's also going to be ILS at Manchester as well. Yeah. So guys, Nightbot will, for some reason, do that. Even if it's not. Yeah, so yeah, just be careful with anything that's just not worth it. Caps and stuff. So yeah, I want to try that landing again. It could be the aircraft. I can't imagine it being anything. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have another little look at landing the A320. This is just the bog standard one in Flight Sim 2024. 2309-500. We'll see if it gives us also, it still shows us being over there. Which is mad because we're also over here as well. So, also the way you scroll on this definitely needs to be improved. Definitely needs to be improved. Let's see what it does here, because I've noticed. Oh, actually, the actual altitude is absolutely fine this time around, which is good, because I noticed for most aircraft on PC, for some reason, it will start altitude at about 37,000 feet on an approach for some odd reason. Good to see you, Mike. I'm good, mate. I'm good. Have you used the A330 on there? Not yet. Not yet, mate. No. On the PS5 version, anyway, I haven't tried the 330 just yet. We've had a little go in the A320 so far into Gibraltar, which did not work out very well. Lovely rain effects, by the way. Look at that. If you're wondering how the rain effects look on PS5, they look very, very nice. I still personally can't get used to not having a mouse, but that is definitely a big thing. Also, as well, we are far too high. We'll try and get onto the ILS, but I don't even think we can at this point, but you never know. Let's see. I think we're far too high at this point, but... So plane spotting Mike's a real person. So I doubt we're going to get onto the ILS at this point, because I think we're very, very high up. Too high up. can we... Yeah, we could. We can try and come back down. Yeah, guys, just watch what you're saying and doing, because we are just trying to keep it, you know, nice and civil. We're looking at PlayStation 5. We're looking at the flight sim. It's beta. There might be some issues. There might not be some issues. There might be things that you don't like. You might not like that it's coming to PS5, but please just, if that's your opinion, fair enough. Everyone's entitled to them. But keep it nice and friendly, and if you ain't got nothing nice to say, then just watch or just leave. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Pretty damn simple. Simple as peas. Yeah, no worries, Mike, mate. Thank you. Like I said, guys, I'm running a standard PS5. I'm running one of the very, very early PS5s. I think it's a launch day PS5, if I'm going to be totally honest. This is the beta for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 that comes out in December, which I'm trying to look as much as possible. Airliners, general aviation. I'm trying to get through quite a lot in the couple of hours that I've got on the live stream. If I don't get to show you something in particular, let me know in the comments afterwards, or as we, you know, if you're rewatching. I will try and do another follow-up live stream in the coming month or so before it releases, because obviously it did actually get an update today, the beta, which was quite cool. But yeah, as I say, guys, just keep it civil, keep it nice, and just enjoy the live stream. If you're not enjoying it, then you know it's dead simple, guys. You just click away. That's all I can say, really. I'm trying my best to show it, trying my best to answer questions. Some things I'm not going to know, some things I'm not going to be able to do very, very well, and honestly, some things are very hard to do purely because I'm coming from a PC. I'm used to being able to grab the mouse, manipulate things, but also use a controller or a yoke or a side stick, and you know, I've got an Airbus panel here, which is even easier. I don't need to do all this. So which console is this? This is the PlayStation 5. I'm on the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 beta for PlayStation 5, and I'm just trying to show you guys how it runs. Yeah, honestly, I haven't got a clue where the airport's gone at this point. Obviously, something like this, again, this is quite an easy thing to do. There's quite a lot of steps you have to go through on the PS5 just to control the aircraft. Oh, so it's just a normal PS5. It's actually one of the very, very first PS5s. I think it's a launch day PS5, which is insane because it's running quite well. Also, as well, I've noticed the flaps say that they're down in this instance, and they're not. As you can see. Which is another thing I will definitely try and feed back. Yeah, so even with the doing manually and the key binding for it, the flaps aren't working. Alex, good to see you, mate. No worries, mate. Don't worry about it, mate. Not at all, mate.
1,000.
Bit fast here coming in, but nothing's turned off at this point. Very high up as well, guys, so I apologise, it's not the best.
400.
Again, for some reason the flaps aren't working, so this is going to be quite a dodgy
300.
landing. Again, we tried this at
200.
Gibraltar before, folks, and the whole of the A320 systems
100.
completely shut off.
50,
It doesn't seem to be
40,
happening now.
30. 20. Retard. Retard.
10,
Retard. Retard. Retard.
The flaps are appearing like they're down now, which is a bit weird. Again, reaching for the mouse there, but again, I don't think there's any way to... And now I've completely come to a standstill on the runway. It wasn't a bad landing though, and the systems didn't go off this time, so that's something. I've also come in from the wrong direction as well. Oh, I'm gonna crash. He's taxiing out the wrong way. Hey, the landing wasn't too bad, but the systems didn't go off, which is something. You need to move out my way, mate. Oh well. We're just gonna have a standoff now, aren't we? Where you going? Mate, I'm here. Move. But anyway, the landing wasn't too bad. Notice that the flaps weren't actually animated. I'm going to say animated because they were selected in the cockpit. They also do appear like they're down now, which is a bit weird. Just so I can show you that the flaps now show that they're down. Very, very odd. Very odd. What I'm going to do now, guys, just so I'm getting through some stuff, I'm going to jump in the A400. I know one of the guys over on the forums wanted me to check that. But yeah, Mike, let me just to remind Brian, big match is Anfield 4:30, Liverpool versus Man. Yeah, so won't get many views. Think the time schedule. I don't know, mate. It really depends. It depends how many sort of flight simmers are watching. Sort of my audience, or at least the audience around who are watching these types of streams, whether they're watching the match or not. But thank you for the tip, mate. Obviously a 4:30 kickoff's gonna, to be honest with you, mate, 4:30 kickoff will still probably be around okay time for me. Yeah, I mean, no worries, guys. I know you'll be watching it for sure. But even a 7 o'clock start on a live stream probably is going to be okay for that time range. Yes, so one of the chaps on the forum wanted me to check the A400. There's no C17 in the sim. So this is the beta, of course, but there's no 17 in it for some reason. I can only think that maybe it just does not work. But yeah, we're going to jump into the A400 and we will attempt some flying in the A400. We're not going to back out all the way for some odd reason. But yeah, for anyone who's come in now, this is the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 beta. Okay, it's not out yet. It comes out in December. People with the who are part of the sort of the beta program, the invites and stuff like that, You can request a code and stuff like that, but you have to be accepted. Best thing to do though is, guys, because I did obviously sign up for this and I didn't hear anything back, and lo and behold, the acceptance email was in my spam email. So make sure you're looking about in your emails. So if you find like you've requested to be part of it, then take a good look around your emails, because they might have been buried. I found mine was like, and then you log in and then you request a code. Yeah, that again, that is the thing. Now, Mayday, what I would say is obviously it's not going to get cross-platform, as that's what they're saying at least. That's been met with a lot of negativity, so it might be something that they try and implement at some point. But yeah, things that you've owned previously aren't going to come over to PS5, which again is that's even worse in my opinion. Crossplay is one thing, but the fact that people spend a lot on the marketplace, that's a big thing. What I would say is I have noticed my avatar has come over from PC. So the avatar that I've made is on this. So I wouldn't necessarily get too negative straight away, because they might find some kind of way of making any purchases come over. But yeah, if you've got a load of things you bought in the marketplace, you're gonna have to essentially buy them again, which is a big no, and I will voice that as a concern. Okay, so if anyone is watching from Microsoft, big no, your marketplace is there. We should be getting exactly what we bought over on PC on the marketplace. It should be there. There's no excuse. Let developers do it as well. Let us have it all there, because we've spent a lot. We haven't just bought the simulator again, by the way. That's another thing. You'll be buying the simulator again. We have to buy all our add-ons as well. Yeah, so I would look in your spam folder, because I thought that I didn't get anything, and then weirdly enough in my Outlook, because my Outlook, it's on my Outlook. Outlook has got it's so outdated in my opinion now, the email system, or what was called Hotmail, wasn't it, or it still is. The folders and the folder structure in their Outlook email is just stupid compared to something like Gmail. Have a look around in your folders, because you might have it in there. But yeah, absolutely, marketplace add-ons need to be transferred over. There's no question. There's no question. Needs to be done. So yeah, one of the chaps ones on the forum wanted me to fly the A400. The C-17 isn't here, but it looks like everything else is. But yeah, I'm just gonna fling the A400. This is the Macaloop here. Whether I'm able to even attempt that is another question. But we could have a look, couldn't we? Could the A400 get up off there? I know it can get up from Valley, so... Could we do a right-hand turn? We'll try. I'll probably get lost. Yeah, mate, obviously I'll be there for the Iberia as well. I can't forget that, because it's quite a busy week for me in particular. I've got the baby's birthday party on Saturday, so it's full steam ahead. I might decide not to actually live stream on Sunday, to be quite honest, but we'll see. I'm a PC guy and have everything on my PC. I was going to get my son a PS5 version and log into the account and would have let me try it. Exactly. Yeah, this is the thing. My main thing is the PC. I'll be doing most of it. I might bring some content onto the channel for the PS5, but I'm not fully committed to doing that yet, and I'm not fully decided on that yet. But no, I absolutely agree. It doesn't matter how much I enjoy the simulator, and full disclosure, guys, yeah, I've collaborated with Microsoft for screenshots and videos and other things. That decision, as well as crossplay, because I know it's possible, they can do crossplay, there's no reason why they couldn't, unless there's a specific thing that is physically software stopping them where they just cannot do it, which I still actually don't believe. Then yeah, I can't get on board. Doesn't matter how much I support the simulator and what they're doing with it. We spend a lot of money on the simulator through different versions and different packages. We will have to buy it again on PS5, but then we could have 500 quid, £1,000 worth, £2,000 worth of add-ons in our marketplace. Listen, we're not gonna go and buy again, are we? And think about that. If you are also a PC user who has got a PS5 sitting there with PSVR 2 sitting there, and you're really excited, because I know that was a big thing. Not just the fact that it's coming to PlayStation 5 and it's Microsoft Flight Simulator for the first time ever on a PlayStation console. The biggest thing after that announcement was the realization that PSVR 2 owners are going to not just be able to try the simulator and own it, but also try it in VR, in a pretty good VR headset, by the way, because the PSVR 2 is actually a really, really good technical headset. But again, you're not going to be able to enjoy any of those aircraft or scenery in VR, because are you going to want to buy them all again? Not the best decision, Microsoft, but let's make sure that you rectify it. And if it's not at launch, get it sorted as soon as possible, because just obviously, why would we want to spend that much money again? And I am... Why have you started on the other end of the runway when I asked you to do it on that side? You know, anyway. So I'm guessing now we are going to be starting over on... We're going to be making a full 180, are we now? Can I not click on my EFB? No. Stop clicking. Okay, that's another little bug. Have I got a notch of flaps? Yes, I have. So yeah, this is for, I think it was Coral Yard on the Flight Sim forums, asking me to have a fly in the A400. I'll do my best. It's not an aircraft I fly in the sim at all. It's one of my favourite aircraft in real life. We get to see this quite regularly at Liverpool. Up from Bryce Norton rather. You can actually hear the ATC coming through the speaker. I like that implementation, and like I said before, guys, they have implemented the touchpad as a input device. So I haven't tried any other inputs, but as by default, you can manipulate the, or at least you should be able to. Yeah, not working again. So there is a couple of things that I would say that are still a bit, like the fact that the throttle is just not moving now. So you can use the joystick, the touchpad on the DualSense as a throttle axis, which is pretty cool. when it shows up, yeah. But there is the wonderful A400 there, climbing up out of RAF Valley. I still think it's incredible, regardless of the few little issues, that it looks as nice as it does. I'm still really annoyed at the throttle. Last time I checked this, the throttle was just stuck. I can't move the throttle. But yeah, on the default key bindings, you can use the the touchpad as a throttle axis, which is pretty cool. Again, you can also use the... Well, you're supposed to be able to use a gyroscope. Interesting. So not all aircraft have... Yeah, so not all aircraft can use the gyroscope either. Again, something to consider. That doesn't seem to be letting me do it with the A400. So still not letting me... You've just let me completely cut off the throttle, the one of the propellers. Fantastic. Liam, good to see you, mate. Yeah, I mean, before today I hadn't tried this on PS5 a lot, and now that I've been on it for what, going on 2 hours now, I am starting to see some things that they need to fix. They're very minimal things, and I'll tell you what, the clouds, again, something that you can mess about with a awful lot in the PC version of the sim. You can obviously tweak the settings, and if you are interested in the settings, guys, there is no graphic settings on the PS5, or at least the normal PS5. You've got settings to adjust the air traffic, which only go from low to medium. And that is like the variety, the density, the ground aircraft. You can't mess with any type of graphic setting. You can turn HDR10 off and on, but clouds, scenery, anything like that, you can't mess with on the PS5, or at least the base PS5. Couldn't comment on the PS5 Pro. If there's anyone who is rewatching this or knows, has watched a PS5 Pro stream for this, please let me know. Yeah, of course it's overspeed, because you won't let me bloody touch the throttles. Now you will, but you'll only let me touch one. So yeah, if there's anyone with a PS5 Pro who is on the beta, please let me know what kind of graphic settings you are able to mess about with, if any at all. There might be a lot of things that are locked until the release version's out. Wales looking absolutely stunning. I'm still impressed. I know the visuals don't make up everything, guys, I realise that, but I'm very impressed with what they've achieved with the visuals. You're not letting me do anything. What? Oh man. And no, don't do that. I'm just trying to mess with all of them, so I'm able to hopefully control them again. I can control them again, but only... Okay. that'll have to do. Not perfect, but it lets me get out of that overspeed. Okay. Yeah, I know, auto throttle's fucking on, but come on, guys. So, straight off the bat, I think any new users, any PS5 users coming onto the sim when it comes out in December will feel a bit better than I do controlling the whole thing, because I am missing a keyboard, I'm missing panels, I'm missing an actual side stick, I'm missing a mouse. I've got very limited controls when it comes to having a cursor in front of me. You have to use the onboard cursor, which is R1 and L3 to bring it up so you can access your toolbar. You can aim your camera towards buttons and kind of guess where things are and then click X. So it can be done. It's just, yeah, I think if you've been on Flight Sim for years and years on PC, you'll find very limited in terms of control, or at least that's the trouble I'm having. I'm terrible anyway at flying aircraft on the sim. I think for me, I think it's the GA aircraft, single propeller, and maybe the Vision jet and the PC-24. Maybe that would probably be the biggest jet, which is quite sad because I spent a lot of time on X-Plane 11 in the Zebo 737, and I was doing full routes with that. I've said that many times. I bore myself with saying it, but I did many routes back and forth from the UK over Europe. That'll be another overspeed warning. I know. So yeah, my Airliner piloting days haven't been on a simulator for a while, but I tell you what, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? It looks great. Fair play to them for getting the visuals as nice as this on a base PS5. That's what I would say. And yet there is some more issues that seem to be arising once I've been on it for an hour or two now, but the issues that are very, in my opinion, minimal and can be sorted out. And again, those visuals, if you're a PC simmer and you've been on the PC 2020 and 2024 for the last 5-6 years, yeah, you're going to notice a difference, especially if you do like to pixel peep and see those lovely crispy graphics, especially if you're running it on a 4K 2K monitor. But even then, they've done a good job at making this just flyable, which is an incredible feat. I think it's really, really good. But again, guys, if you are watching, I really appreciate the patience and sort of the understanding, because again, some of these things have more than likely been a bit of user error. But sort of for the last half an hour or so now, I'm going to try and jump into. Oh, what's that over there? That's not on my screen, is it? I don't know if you guys can see that as well. It's kind of like a black... What is it? It's a UFO. They've put like a UFO Easter egg on the PS5 version. Can you guys see that? I can't even use my mouse. Oh, I can use the cursor, can't I? Can you guys see that? That like black line that almost looks like a... It's gone now. It's gone now. But yeah, we use the last half an hour. I'll try and sort of get myself down towards the Mac Loop, and then I don't know, hop into another GA aeroplane and get a bit lower. But look at that. I don't know where these pictures go. Does it tell me? We'll have a look at that, or I'll have a look at that in the at the end of the stream. But I just think that oh, hang on a minute. Oh, this is all one speed. I can't slow it down. Oh no, it's very, very hard. I just thought that particular cloud looked nice, but there you go. Yeah, there's another little black anomaly in the background there, like almost like a contrail coming towards you with like a shadow on it, but I don't think it is. Anyway, anyway. Yeah, if you are enjoying the stream, please leave a like. Please do share the stream, even if we are getting to the end of the stream at this point. And also consider subscribing. Like I keep on saying, the PS5 content on the channel isn't a definite. Yeah, I do want to explore what is possible with capturing footage and just see. I mean, the thing is, I don't know whether, and this might sound a bit like, I don't know how it's going to sound, but I don't know if anyone on the beta program gets access to the full game at the end. I'm not too sure about that, so I don't know whether I'll actually go off and buy it. That's the thing. I don't know whether I will use this enough to warrant that, and especially if we're not getting the any add-ons bought on the marketplace. Luckily, I'm in a position where I haven't bought much from the marketplace, but even so, I want to see. I want to see. I'm not decided yet. Plus, virtual reality is something. Oh my god! All right. I know. I'm going too fast. I honestly don't care. Yeah. VR is actually on the agenda for the channel more than PlayStation 5 content at this moment in time. It's something that I've been looking at doing for a long time because I do have a Quest 3. Although the plan that I do have and what I'm hoping comes into play soon is not going to be on a Quest 3. It'll be on something a bit more substantial. I have tried Flight Sim 2020 and 2024 on Quest 3, and it's nice, but there's just something different about using a dedicated wired headset into a display port, like the PSVR 2 as well. It makes a difference having a dedicated wired headset. It's fantastic having the Quest 2 or Quest 3 going through virtual desktop wirelessly, but it's not taking advantage of your graphics card, and you know your PC VR headsets are coming. You know the display port right into the graphics card itself, and it just looks fantastic. And I'm not as clued up or as knowledgeable as some of the VR guys who are doing it on YouTube, like Steve, VR Flight Sim guy, for example. All right.
1,000.
Shut up. But I worked in the VR, I'll say, industry for a fair number of years. I did talks. I did talks for schools, and I worked with various headsets for many years. So I'd like to think I'll be able to give some kind of impression, but yeah, I haven't been able to use any of the newest headsets. The last really good headset I tried was the Valve Index, and that is very outdated now. So
300.
Look at that. And I would say, apart from kind of what we saw earlier on with Gibraltar, which was absolutely incredible, I probably am going to go and try and replicate that at some point, because I like I said, I've never seen the sim do that before. The whole aircraft shutting down, the whole simulator sticking up, almost like I had it in active pause. It was weird. I've never, even on PC, even for the issues I've seen on PC. Yo, is this PS5 Pro or the standard? It's a standard. It's that standard. It's one of the launch day PS5s. This is my PS5 is the one without 100. The. We crashed into a tree. Apparently, we were that low. Fair enough. Yeah. So my PS5 is, I think, a launch day one. So it's literally got the original motherboard in it. It's not one of the updated ones. It's not a slim and it's not a pro. The Flight Sim 2024 graphics for it don't have any graphics options. Before we carry on, again, I will show people that just as another thing. As you can see in the graphics, there's absolutely nothing to play with in terms of graphics. You've got vehicle and animal and ground vehicle quantity and quality and variation sliders, but that's all we've got, and they're only low and medium or off, which is very interesting. Yes, so what I would say is it's running, apart from again Gibraltar earlier on in the stream, I would recommend anyone going back to watch it, but the landing in Gibraltar wasn't the best approach anyway, but it completely locked up. It looked like we were in active pause for about 2 minutes. The aircraft systems just completely turned off, and then ultimately we crashed. It was very. I've never seen it even on PC, which is saying something. But yeah, this is the graphic settings you get. This is what I'm getting. Again, anyone with this beta on PS5 Pro, please let me know if you've got any other sliders. I'd love to know. This just could be locked for now on the beta, but this is what we're getting in terms of graphics. We can't do anything else. But I am very impressed. Yes, I am very impressed with a standard PS5 running this visually. Like it is visually as well. Performance, again, apart from sort of a couple of little hiccups here and there, being impressed with it. Sparky's very good VR on PS5. Yeah, so we'll have. It will be, but they get the PSVR 2 is the update for it. It'll be 2026. They've said so in 2026. Don't know when in 2026 there will be an update for the PS5 version that will allow VR2 owners run it in VR, which again is a massive thing. I can't really get across how big of a thing that is for PS5 users, because PSVR 2 became more obtainable over the years it was out. And you can now sometimes find them ultra cheap, like stupidly cheap, and with the fact that it's less obtainable on PC. So You've got on PC on Flight Sim 2020 or 2024, you could use a Quest. I wouldn't ever recommend doing it through link cable. You can do Quest through virtual desktop. It's okay. The Quest 3 looks nice, but again, compared to a dedicated VR headset like one of the Pimaxes or even something like a HP Reverb G2, you can't beat it because it's directly plugged in. And you don't need to have it wireless at that point because you're static sat. You're not going to be, you know, playing Beat Saber behind you. You don't need it to be wireless. Okay, right, PSVR 2 only 2026, but that will be huge. Yeah, update at some point. I don't think they've said when it is. Let me just double check if there's any further info on there. I'm gonna crash, aren't I? Yeah. To be fair, this is what the A400s do down in Wales.
300.
Oh, I'm stalling.
200.
Pull up.
100.
I've crashed 3 times on this sim today. One of them wasn't my fault. Both of them have been in the A400. But anyway, to be very honest, I was speaking to someone, I think it was one of my Discord followers, and live streaming and trying to control a plane, especially when you're looking at something else, it just becomes impossible. And that's not an excuse, it really does. On the website, let's have a little look. The gyroscope controls are quite interesting on the PS5. It didn't work with the A400, but it was quite interested in one of the smaller aircraft. PSVR 2 owners will be able to get experience the entire game through the headset and Sense controllers with a free update that will be available in 2026. Doesn't say when. Could be any time in 2026. I hope it's not too far into the year. But yeah, that is quite a thing itself. I was just playing the beta right now and suddenly all the screens in the... okay. Okay, interesting. It happened to me before. So C4, it happened to me in the A320 version 2. Went into Gibraltar. Approach wasn't too bad. We were going to land it and then all screens went black and then it completely froze. But the whole sim just locked up. I could move my cameras around. It was like the sim had gone into active pause, but it wasn't. And then it fired back into life, and then I just stalled and crashed. So they need a yoke and throttle unit if possible. Yeah, they need. I think Thrustmaster will be the ones who will bring their. They'll make their HOTAS compatible. I think straight away, mate. Just without the need of releasing an entire new unit for the PS5. That is my guess and my opinion. I don't think that might not be the case, but I can certainly. I think the HOTAS that they've got for the Xbox works for the PC and Xbox, and I think, do you know what? Plugging it through USB into the PS5 will probably just work as well. Yeah, so C4, it looks like it's just, again, something to do with the beta. That is not something I've ever seen on a PC version. It's also something I've not experienced so far with the limited number of hours on the simulator. Let me jump into something. We are sort of getting towards the end now, guys. There's probably stuff that I haven't really checked upon much, but let me jump into the good old 150, the 170. It's 172 because it's over fuselage, wing, and to be quite honest, I want to try for the last 15 minutes or so to... Why have you gone to the A400? Did I not click on that then? What I want to do is I want to fly over some more densely populated cities. We'll just stick to the... Oh, it's horrible not having any of the liveries or anything that I'm used to, man. Oh, it's horrible. I love having the new Ruby livery. There's a livery called a Ruby as part of Echo 19 sound pack, and it's bloody gorgeous. Let's just do that one. But yeah, I want to go over the likes of London and New York to finish the stream. Flick the night lighting off and on just to see what it looks like and see what the performance is like mostly as well. I also think maybe the gyroscope controls, for you guys who haven't seen it, might work in the 172. I know they work in the PA28 Dakota. Should work in the... Why haven't we got a default Heathrow? Interesting. So yeah, that is probably because this is just based on the base version of Flight Sim 2024. By the way, I've put my simulator over on that screen now, guys. That's why I'm not looking that way. But obviously Heathrow is part of maybe Premium Deluxe or the Avatar edition. I think it's Premium Deluxe. So this is just the base version by the looks of it. But like I said before, my Avatar design, clothing, and complete look seems to have come over from the PC. Either that or it's a complete coincidence, but it seems to have come over from the PC. But again, they definitely need to sort out the whole... I mean, crossplay in general anyway, but I hope they sort out add-ons from the marketplace being brought over as well, because if you are a PC user and you want to, for some reason, for me, I don't think I'd come over from PC to PS5 just for the sake of it. I'd rather fly on the PC for all of its quirks. I'd rather have the custom scenery, the freeware, the things that I've bought, things that I've downloaded already here. The only reason why I would personally, if I was going to, and if I had one, it would be for the PSVR 2. That would be the only reason why I'd come over to the PS5. But for PS5 users, you are in for a treat. It's quite nice. It's quite nice to think, for anyone who's been on PlayStation and never owned a PC, never been able to get a PC, who have wanted to try a flight simulator and now going to be able to. And I think that's another big thing as well. Let's see if the gyro works. So I can show you the gyro, guys. Look. it's quirky. If you tilt back, it takes you back. Tilt forward, it's going to send the obviously the plane downwards. You do obviously need to calibrate it to start with, so let's obviously get it back straight again, as straight as we can. Click it into let's try and get it straight. Click it into gyro, and then yeah. it's quirky and it's very, very cool, but definitely probably something I wouldn't, even if I was a PS5 user getting the flight simulator, I probably wouldn't be using it, if I'm going to be totally honest. Yeah. Maybe we can add community folder on. Very interesting, Sparky. That's a very yeah, getting technical, mate, but I think, yeah, but wouldn't you be able to do that on Xbox, or the SSD don't work the same on Xbox X? I know obviously the PS5 you can do it like a PC where you can actually, you know, unscrew it and add a new one in, but it's a very good thought, mate, and it's going to be something that people try for sure. Looks like your normal flight skills, mate. You haven't watched I don't know, Tony, if you've been here for the most of the stream, mate, but yeah, I've been terrible. And I'll be honest with you, mate, no excuses here. Or maybe they are, but after Ace Airstream, who was obviously a viewer and obviously over on Discord as well, he did say he tried live streaming the other day, and it's just so hard to do live streaming and talk and figure things out while controlling the plane. But also as well, I think some of these have been PS5 beta issues. But yeah, I think so. But here is London now. What I would say is we are still getting that render popping with the photogrammetry. Doesn't happen with the auto gem, but over Liverpool you actually see, even if you move it away for a second and move it back again, the photogrammetry does load in and pops in. But when it is loaded in, it loads in quickly and it looks bloody gorgeous. The photogrammetry, I think, actually, do you know what the photogrammetry quality on the PS5 is better than my PC? I don't know why. I've got me PC bloody wired up as well. It's very, very weird. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad actually. And again, the clouds are not too bad, and I would like to know what graphic preset this is using, but there's no way of finding out unless I can get someone from a sober Microsoft to let me know. But no way of knowing what preset there is, because, as I say, we don't have any graphic settings in the settings. we just don't. But I tell you what, it don't look too bad, does it? It don't look too bad. I'd like, and you guys on PS5 aren't gonna get a million miles away from PC visuals. Although you start looking about and you will see things down on the ground with the grass level and stuff and the trees. Yeah, Tony, I've already had a little bit of moan about that. Mostly, mate, the fact it's more, do you know what it is more to do with? The cross-play and stuff should be something that they're able to do. The other thing is, if you're a person on PC who spent a couple of hundred in the marketplace and then wants to potentially have a go at PSVR 2, or just wants to go on PlayStation 5 and fly with some friends who haven't got a PC and on PS5, you are going to have to buy all those marketplace add-ons again, which I think is absolutely terrible. And like I said before, I've collaborated with Microsoft and Asobo. I'm you know, I try to be as positive as I can. I certainly will not start posting online and comments like we do see, and being nasty and you know, just be unnecessary. But what I will say to them is, you need to get that sorted. You need to get the add-on thing sorted. Crossplay, yeah, make it happen. Try and make it happen, unless there's something that is physically blocking you from doing that. But the add-on situation, nah, you need to get that sorted, guys. If a customer, as one of your customers, has spent a few £100, £1,000 in the marketplace, don't make them buy all of them again, or at least make them buy the same ones again. Figure out a way to get your purchases transferred over. Yeah, Sparky, I've seen that, and again, I understand that, but I'm pretty sure there's other platforms that allow that. I'm pretty sure Forza is an example, but I would say with Forza is that obviously Forza came out on Xbox and PC and then went over to PS5, but I'm pretty sure that's still got crossplay. I'm pretty sure that was the biggest thing that I saw someone comment, as the Forza is cross-play, or at least something else is as well. But the add-on situation, the fact that it involves purchases, and you're already going to have to buy it again on PS5 anyway. You're going to have to buy one of the versions. I don't think we should have to spend money again to... I don't know, you've spent 60 or 80 quid on one of the high-end airliners on the marketplace, and then it doesn't come over to PS5, would you? Not right, not right. Sorry. And I'm sure they would agree with me, unless again there's something just they cannot allow it to happen, or they can't make it happen. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know, but not the guy. I've just went through mouse again. I know I can't get out my aircraft. I pressed the wrong button combination. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let's have a little look at the old night lighting. Nice. Not bad. See, I don't like it like that. I like it with like, the evening or the very, very early morning, like that. Even like that, that looks good. What do you guys think? Yay or nay? London City over off into the distance there, just behind the dome and the arena, or what I remember as the Millennium Dome. Hey, it don't look too bad, does it? It don't look too bad. I'm excited for PS5 users, man. I mean, like, I own a PS5. The next time that thing is probably going to get used is GTA 6, but listen, that could be a whole other conversation, which doesn't really match the tone of the channel. But yeah, that will have its power on time. I'm not going to say May, because I still don't think it's going to come out in May. But anyway, don't get me started. Don't get me started. It's not coming out in May. It'll be delayed till September, and it'll come out in September. So if you think it's coming out in May, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed. Honestly, it'll come out in at the end of the year. But I think, didn't GTA 4 come out in April? Back in the day, 2008, I think it was in April. Anyway. Imagine GTA 6 with PSVR 2. Yeah, I think GTA 6 is going to push the PS5, or at least the base PS5, to its limit, even more so than this, because don't forget, this is streamed, isn't it? Still, so... How do I fix the code not available in your region? Max, where is the code being shown? I think that looks really, really nice, and it's going to be nice to see the lighting mask further improved, which I believe it is in Sim Update 4 beta. Which, listen, I don't do Sim Update betas anymore. Reason is because I've seen stuff not make it to the public one, so I really hope that the night lighting that I've seen on various channels stays on the public release, because it looks fantastic. This doesn't look too bad either, and I'm probably not a high enough height. But yeah, Sven, I think GTA 6 is going to push the PS5 and even the PS5 Pro, mate, because you know what Rockstar are like. They will. That game is, and we don't know half. We don't know any of it really. We've seen 2 trailers. We know the characters. We've seen some locations. But gameplay wise, we don't know anything. We've got some leaks that apparently tell us that there's going to be insane gameplay mechanics, but again, yeah, we need Echo 19 sounds. It sounds terrible, doesn't it? It really does. It's one of those, when you start using it as your daily audio, it sounds terrible. I got it through the email. I'm not too sure, Max. You're just not in a region that you can't get onto the beta. Is that correct? Is it something to do with the beta? I'm sorry, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. If it's the beta, then I don't know how you would get around that, mate. If I'm going to be totally honest, GTA 6 will be 7. It will be, mate, and that's what I expect it to be. And people, mate, if it was €100, people would buy it. People would buy it. I'd buy it. GTA 6. I'm a big Rockstar fan. As soon as they get Red Dead Redemption on the running on sort of PS5, not native. Well, yeah, native. We call it native, but you know, with the upscaled resolution, the PS5 upgrade, I'll be playing through that again before GTA 6. But yeah, GTA 6 is another passion of mine. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, Rockstar in general. I did tinker around with doing another whole channel and social media about Grand Theft Auto, but I'd spent too much time doing this, so there's loads of things I want to say about it, but there's enough channels, enough social media accounts that talk about Grand Theft Auto anyway, so I'll just be in a long queue of others who are saying it and probably just saying the same thing, really. But that if it does end up coming out in May, which again I'm just very skeptical about, I think the channel for a while is going to see less content, unfortunately. It's just the way it is. I think it'll be the same for most flight sim content creators. I know not everyone is into GTA, but I think it's safe to say there's going to be a lot of channels going on hiatus for a while. But yeah, mate, I don't know if you're on my Discord, mate, but I think you are. But get yourself into my my DMs on Discord, Sven, mate, and we'll have a good old chat about GTA, because it's my other sort of gaming passion. Open world games in general, but yeah, mostly Rockstar type games, mate. That I do love them. Again, I'll probably be playing Red Dead Redemption 2 again when they do the PS5 sort of update for that, because it's such a great game to play through, and I haven't played through that in a while, so I think it'll be well worth it. But yeah, GTA 6 is going to be amazing. I just do not think it's... we can hope, but I just can't see it being May. It's a weird month for them to release it. I know it's already technically been delayed once, and they want to keep the delays down, but it just feels like a wrong month, and it just feels wrong to me. I don't know. If it is going to be May, then we're going to get another trailer soon, around Christmas time, and then going into January and February, the marketing and the gameplay trailers will start coming out, and we'll start seeing more of what they're cooking up for the gameplay, because I've read so many mad things about what apparently they're going to add in. So yeah, it's safe to say the channel I will try and do some kind of batch videos to keep the channel active, but it is safe to say my attention will be with my PS5 for a number of, well, it depends how big and how varied it is, a number of years. Used to play a lot of Battlefield and Call of Duty back in the day, mate, online, but I just don't do that now. Anyway, guys, if you are interested, I might do another live stream showing, because I know this got an update, the beta on PS5 today, that did a couple of things. But I will try and do another live stream at some point. But I'm going to have a little fly around New York and see what the deal is there. We'll do it in another aircraft as well. What should we go in this time? Something slow as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be over wing. Maybe the nice Diamond DA40 with its massive big... they're quite narrow wings, aren't they? So they're not too bad. And we will end the live stream after this little flight around New York. But I'm quite impressed Visually, it's doing it's a fantastic job of bringing the for the most part the visuals from the PC to the PS5. Obviously, you start digging deeper, you are going to see the areas that have been stripped down a bit, of course. But that goes without saying. Again, I would like to know what setting this is being rendered at, because like I showed you before, chaps and chapettes, there is... What am I doing here? There is absolutely no... Well, you know, obvious graphic settings. You've got avatar variety, the people quantity and all that, ground service people, airports, the ground service equipment, parked aircraft and stuff like that. But we've got nothing to mess around with clouds or anything like that. And even these are either off, low, and medium. So yeah, this might just be locked for the beta. But I think for the most part, PS5 is going to be a certain preset, especially on PS5 Pro. And again, I have asked a few times, anyone who is rewatching the stream or in the stream for the last few minutes or so and has tried this on PS5 Pro, please do let me know what graphic settings are included in that version, whether it's any different or not. It might not be, but it's interesting because obviously the game then has to run the visuals at whatever console is running it. But here's New York, something that for me it was more Flight Sim 2020. This was the sort of the benchmark everyone used to try, and in 2024 it got a lot better for me. Again, you even more so with New York, you will see the photogrammetry popping in, rendering in, and then obviously rendering out when I'm moving the camera about. No setup videos needed for the PS5. No, not at all, mate. No sort of optimized settings videos. No, not at all. Unless that is going to change and maybe the PS5 is going to have a few more toggles on release. But as you can see, the photogrammetry here doesn't actually look amazing. It looks like most of it is loading in. It doesn't look as melty as it usually does, but the textures certainly don't look as good as what we were finding in London or even Liverpool. Performance seems good. I mean, obviously I can't pull up any kind of FPS counter. I don't think I can anyway. I can't. There's no way of getting on developer mode. In fact, I don't even think there is a toggle to enable developer mode. It's usually in advanced settings, and I think the only one is the third person. So yeah, that's a thing. I can't use slew mode or get you an FPS counter. Hi again, timely stuff. Hi again, good to see you. No Sam C New York, nope. Which I have got. I am using on PC. I'm using that, and obviously his Manchester scenery as well. Which obviously for Manchester makes a massive difference, because Manchester just doesn't have it. This is why we need another UK update to fill in some of the missing cities. Manchester being one that's just not being looked at for the UK for some reason. It's always sort of confused me that. So I have got Sam Scene's Manchester for Manchester on the PC. I have also installed it as New York because the buildings are quite good, especially the World Trade Center 1. A lot better. The photogrammetry version is just terrible. Too many shadows and texture glitches. But yeah, look, you can see how New York, especially the photogrammetry, just the popping is terrible. Yeah, the I think Samseen does all the bridges as well, doesn't he? As well, and all the. Is that a free one? I've never actually heard of that one, Sven. That's a good tip though. But if you look out now, that's pretty good. That's really good. When it's not sort of rendering in, there's the Chrysler building there and the Empire State Building. That looks pretty nice. I don't know where these pictures go. I'll have to have a look at the end of the live stream. I know the ones that when you click this button, I know where they go, but I don't know where the actual simulator ones go. But hopefully I can upload them because I've taken one in the A400. But that, I tell you what, apart from the popping in issues, it looks nice. I would say overall sort of stutteriness is minimal. I had one big massive stutter in Gibraltar which pretty much rendered the sim broke for about 2 minutes. But smoothness definitely better than what I'm experiencing on PC, and that's saying something. No, that one's free. They have a version that works. Oh, nice. I'll have a look at it, mate, because I thought Samseen did most of the bridges, but obviously we have got a ton of bridges that stretch all the way back in New York. You know, that is terrible. But yeah, I'll have a look at that, Sven. Thank you so much for that tip. I'm currently writing out. I've wrote out 4 scripts for more freeware videos because, like I've said a million times, it's what the channel started with: freeware reviews, product reviews, flight videos, and then it just got stuck in this cinematic trailer space. And I although I like doing them, they're nice. It's nice doing them every so often, not all the time, and that's what I was doing. Every single video I was doing was a cinematic or trailer, and I didn't like that. The channel started going into its own little it's you know, the niche of that thing. And obviously flight simming on YouTube alone is kind of niche. It's not, you know, compared to what other people's doing, FIFA, GTA, Call of Duty, Battlefield. It's, you know, we certainly don't get the pick of the viewers. So to go into another little niche of its own, a specific area of flight sim content, no, it wasn't happening. So that's why I quickly sort of started trying to do a mixture of things and not just have the same old video. Because, mate, there's people who are doing trailer cinematics that are a lot better than me, and also the variety that they're kicking out. Mine just fell into a trap of always looking the same. I had a particular style of doing it. They all looked quite similar when others were doing new cinematics every week with a different style and a different pace. And so yeah, I don't mind doing them every so often, but not as what I used to. And obviously doing something like live streaming as well just adds to it. And obviously jumping onto PS5 as well has just been a whole different thing, which is quite fun. So yeah, I'm actually gonna get off now, guys, because it's a lot longer than I wanted to do. REF, yeah, I know, I did it on my last live stream earlier. I took a look around it, another Chico Mick scenery. Granted, not as densely populated or as detailed as Duxford, but obviously there's a good reason for that. It's because it's obviously a scenery that's been done, depicting the 1940s, and he also only had a specific amount of reference data because it still is a Ministry of Defence base. It's still active, or at least obviously, you know, still there being used for some things. But he didn't have any reference material to do some things, but he really has made it. He's done a really good one. But yeah, that's on that is on my last live stream, mate. But yeah, I am impressed with what they are doing with the PS5 version so far. It has a couple of little bits they need to get sorted. I don't know if it's only me that is experiencing, or at least it might be a connection issue or something that is producing the pop-ins of the photogrammetry. I can show you that now, just if you didn't realise what I meant. You can see it's dead, quite easy to see. But it's looking good. It's looking good. I am impressed with the visual fidelity and the performance. Yeah, there's a few little things that I've encountered on and off stream, but nothing that they couldn't just fix. Really nice, really nice. Pleasantly surprised, and I will, if there's any significant updates and changes before release, I will go. Now that I've got the means of going live with it, I will definitely consider going live again with more PS5. Also, the plan is to potentially do some PS5 content for the channel. It won't overshadow or become something that will take over PC content, not by a long shot. It might be that I do every once in a while, I jump onto PS5 and do a video. If I'm lucky enough to obtain a PSVR 2, that would be something again that I would look into, definitely. But the right now the channel is going to be uploading some. I'll be uploading some more freeware videos, some more other videos like the hidden gem airport that I did, but some other things. Definitely more trailers and cinematics, of course, and definitely more live streams. Don't know whether I'm going to go live on Sunday yet. I'm going to decide that in the next couple of days, but at the minute I might not. It's my daughter's birthday on Saturday. It's a busy weekend. I might just be in a position on Saturday where I just want to lay down and don't do nothing, because the house is going to be trashed. Yes, definitely, mate. Steve will do it. Simhanger, yeah. There'll be a couple of other guys who'll do stuff PSVR 2 for sure. But as I say, I am looking at hopefully soon. I'm still waiting to hear about things and see if things are progression, but I have always wanted to bring VR content to the channel. I just don't think the Quest 3 is, not that it's not good enough, it's just it's using I use virtual desktop, and I'd rather have it plugged in, and yeah. Sven, I appreciate it, mate, but like I say, I think this has also been a good way to see the flight sim working on a bog standard PS5, and not just a standard PS5 in terms of a new one, because obviously we've seen multiple units. Mine is a release day one, so what I would say with that is it hasn't got an updated cooling system, it hasn't got the updated motherboard, it's not the slim version, it is the sort of one of the first units. So to have it running this good and look so good, it does bode well for anyone with a newer system and a PS5 Pro as well. So that's what I would take away from this live stream. Like I said, guys, everything goes on my Discord, social media. If there's a live stream on Sunday, you will know about it. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you again on our next one. Have a good rest of the week, guys.